Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest rendition of Tales from Outer Space. Taken from the subreddit HFY. All the relevant links will be down below. And as always, I hope that you enjoy, and if you do, please consider supporting the channel. Now, on to the science fiction. I would like to give a quick thanks to our Tier 5 channel members and patrons. Fallen Angel, Buzz Killington. Thank you again. Now on to the story. Story number 1. A brief look at a captain's log entries pertaining to humans, written by Quasar Ironfist. Contextual translation enabled. The timestamps on the log have unfortunately been lost. I hired a human engineer today. Said his name is Elizabeth. And when asked what sort of augments they have, they responded, and I quote, "Well, I have the standard nano, cyber, and genetic enhancements for increased intelligence, durability, endurance, strength, biological immortality, agility, and flexibility, dexterity, disease prevention, anti-radiation, toxin filtering, temperature regulation, computer in my head, vacuum protection, atmospheric recycling, metabolism control, that sort of stuff. Although there's been talk of having those genetic changes to be germline instead of somatic. So that would just be a baseline human, not baseline enhancements. Anyway, as for the non-standard stuff, I had my eyes entirely replaced with cybernetic ones, and I have a basic engineering suite. Intuitive programming, multi-tools in my hands and forearms, electron beam welders, that sort of stuff. Lastly, I replaced my fingernails with small but retractable, sharp and durable claws. Helps with stripping wires and manipulating small, finicky stuff. Oh, and I have several chambers in my left upper arm that can synthesize different inks, which I can draw into and inject out of my claws. Never have to worry about having a pen or a Sharpie with me, basically. Firstly, it seems like they do like to ramble a bit. Secondly, standard augments. It's kind of funny how these people, that are a fair bit smaller than any other known sapient species, are so terrifying. Do note that said genetic changes have in fact gone through recently. The humans are also looking into designating cells that could create nanobots to construct other nanobots and cybernetics, thus allowing any human to automatically have basic health assurance. Turns out the human is female, not male. I was mistaken due to lack of apparent memories. Also, even a joking hit from a human rather hurts. Upon trying to get out the shower in the quarters, the human proclaimed that it is like drizzling ice water on yourself in the middle of the Arctic. There was much more colorful language surrounding that, including several expletives that didn't originate with humans. They then started working on refitting the shower, starting with adding more pumps, to the extent that the water would tear away at the flesh of any other being on board. Upon losing 10mm socket, the human slammed her hand against an armored bulkhead in frustration. The bulkhead in question massively disformed, after cursing the flimsy materials that they got working fixing it. Elizabeth diverted some of the heat from one of the secondary reactors to their shower, and then, to compensate for the loss of power from the reactor, completely rebuilt it. On one Talon, that secondary reactor is now more powerful than the primary. On the other, while the shower was never able to get particularly hot, that seems excessive. One of the Drozlak, Damka, challenged the human to a sparring match, on the condition that the human disable the cybernetics first. Damka is now in stasis until we can get them to a proper hospital. Elizabeth apologized profusely, stating that without the cybernetics active, they can't judge the strength versus the sturdiness of their opponent anywhere nearly as accurately. Another Drozlak, Dakba, challenged the human to a spar. I slapped him upside the head. Working with binary electronics instead of octary is a bit easier, but damn, it's bulkier. The human electronics don't use binary. What? I finally got around to looking at the weapons you guys carry. They're not great. A little while later, Elizabeth gave me a seemingly cobbled-together handgun. The weapon does nothing to the ship's hull, but against anything organic or containing organic matter, such as a heavy assault infantry suit with an avian inside. The result is gruesome. Elizabeth was tinkering with our anti-meteor weapons. The ship is now technically classified as a lightly armored artillery warship instead of a cargo holder. They swore to fix the lightly armored part. The human worked on the shield generators and increased their strength by some amount I'm not really sure of. The other engineers are insisting physics doesn't work like that. When at full power, the back of your teeth taste like blueberries. I've never tasted blueberries. They apologize for not being able to make it stronger with the materials at hand without taking down the entire power grid first. I hadn't gotten round to looking at the drives because I assumed it would be the first thing the other engineers here would bring up to decent specs with the materials available. Clearly I was wrong. Our sublight maneuvering speed is 1.3 times as fast. Our sublight forward acceleration 1.7 times as fast. And our FTL 3.1 times as fast. A crew member accidentally disabled the filter on the internet and browsed the human-specific internet. They're a tad bit traumatized. A crew member accidentally downloaded a computer virus that resulted in any input having a human sing that they would never stop hunting the viewer. Elizabeth spent several minutes cursing whoever programmed this device before fixing it. I learned several new interesting combinations of words from them. End of story. Story number 2. Galactic Tribunal Notice of War Crimes and Charter Violations. Written by T. Barkos. To whom it may concern, please accept our sincerest apologies for the delayed nature of this message, as some of the conditions in the previous notice of charter violations GTN-5336.556.11886 were wholly unprecedented and required original research to address. We would like to set forth the following contentions in response. That 1. The modular building blocks known variously as Lego bricks, Lego, or Legos, hereafter simply Lego bricks, as mandated by the DUK Press Release 590C, are not in violation of Galactic Charter on pain-inflicting devices. The much-publicized incident involving the motor appendages of Tribunal Controller Guareni I, notwithstanding. In particular, the prohibition on caltraps or mine designed to inflict sensory or motor damage requires that the device in question destroy or otherwise render inoperative sensory apparatus. In the controller's case, his reaction demonstrates definitely that his pain sensors were fully functional. Number 2. Lego bricks, likewise, do not fall in contravention of the restrictions on distribution of weapons prototyping tools. Section II.E mandates that such prototyping tools must allow for detailed modeling of functions weapon sets. Lego bricks are, as our exhibits readily show, inert and durable plastic. Number 3. The use of Lego bricks as an entertainment tool for humans and non-human children does not constitute a covert attempt to militarize young Sophans, as the distinguished ambassador from the Grex has contended. We do not feel the need to elaborate on our rejection of the spaceless claim. Number 4. Attempts to restrict the sale of Lego bricks under the auspice of the Licensing Board for Architectural Engineering are ill-conceived and motivated primarily by a perceived threat to their proprietary and highly lucrative modular building drafting set. Additional exhibits. Please find the following supplementary materials in addition to those sent in our previous messages. Number 1. Physically mediated abstract visualization and narrative construction in human children, Lakowski et al., Journal of Adolescent and Pre-Adolescent Cognition. Number 2. A History of Lego Bricks, DUK Megacluster 492, Lego Supercomplex Administrative Building. Number 3. Internal message from the Licensing Board for Agricultural Engineering, provide courtesy of DUK Communique 9032. Number 4. 3 hours of footage of young humans and non-human children in an undirected play session with Lego bricks. Number 5. An accompanying medical and psychological evaluation of the children from the above exhibit, before and after exposure to Lego bricks. Number 6. 10 additional box Lego construction kits, including the Steps of Sazalon set referenced in the claims by Comptroller Garin I. We hope that the additional supplementary materials are helpful in your evaluation of our contentions. Please be advised that regardless of your findings, the human allied worlds are not able to dictate terms to the Dansk Company regarding the production and distribution of Lego bricks. The various Earth origin overcorporation entities have their own independent standing with the Tribunal. If the Tribunal wishes to attempt negotiations with their own initiative with the DUK, we would advise selecting a legal team from a relatively longer-lived species to avoid unnecessary project staff turnover. Furthermore, we wish to advise the Tribunal that resources constraints and copyright licensing agreements render us unable to provide additional Lego kit exhibits beyond the ones previously delivered. We are likewise unable to assist in acquiring several of the sets you identified as rare, sold out, or otherwise unavailable in retail outlets. For these items, we recommend a licensed reseller, or certainly cannot recommend any of the alleged unlicensed individuals offering used or opened like new kits labeled as stubbed plastic building blocks or similar on the unregulated peer-to-peer retail markets. The human allied worlds respect and supports the copyright privileges of the overcorporate partners. Please direct the numerous requests that we receive for supplementary evidence and exhibits to one of the many DUK licensed distributors on your world. Please likewise convey our best wishes to Comptroller Garin I during his periods of convalescence. Cordially, Richard Stebbins, Representative Plenipotentiary of the Human Allied Worlds. End of story. And that, my friends, concludes this video. I hope that you enjoyed, and if you do, please consider supporting the author, even by popping over and leaving a thumbs up or a nice comment, just to show your appreciation for the story. However, if you wish to support this channel, there are links down below which will help immensely. I will see you all in the next one, and until then, I hope that you have a fantastic day. Cheers.